Hello YouTube, my name is Ryo099 and today I am going to be bringing you another Yu-Gi-Oh deck profile. As you can see, this is my Crystal Beast deck profile. I really like Crystal Beast, they are a really fun deck to run. I really liked them since the GX era, so without further ado, let's get started with the deck profile. So first things first then, we have 2 copies of Rainbow Dragon. This is the deck's main boss monster except for the extra deck, well one of the main boss monsters for this deck. It's really easy to bring out with the new editions of the Crystal Beast cards, and I just really like Rainbow Dragon. So next up on the list is 1 Rainbow Dark Dragon. I like this one. I remember seeing Rainbow Dark Dragon in the GX episode when Yubel had taken over Jesse Anderson and decided to use it with the field spell Advanced Dark. All you have to do to summon this one is simply banish 7 dark monsters with different names from your graveyard. So he can be splashed into a lot of dark decks if you are running a dark deck, and I just really like the artwork on him as well. So next up on the list we have 3 copies of Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. This is one of the main combo plays of the deck. When you normal summon him, you can place a Crystal Beast from your deck, hand or graveyard into your spell and trap card zone, which all the Crystal Beasts like to be in the spell and trap card zones for the other effects. And when it's destroyed in the main monster zone, you can also place it into the spell and trap as well. Next up on the list, we have 3 copies of Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle. I really like Ruby Carbuncle. It's a lot of people's favourite cards out of the Crystal Beast because of the artwork and how cute she actually is. Look at that, adorable. When this card is special summoned, you can special summon as many Crystal Beast monsters as possible from your spell and trap card zones. Really easy to special summon with this deck, and Ruby Carbuncle is really good to get your combos out. So next up on the list we have 3 copies of Amber Mammoth. Again, Amber Mammoth is a good card for the deck. I'd recommend running 3 of him. When another Crystal Beast monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can change the attack target to this card. And then of course when he's destroyed, he goes into the spell and trap cards as well. So next up on the list we have only 2 copies of Crystal Beast Amethyst Cat. Amethyst Cat can attack your opponent directly, but when it does, any battle damage it inflicts to your opponent is halved. So she's on 1200, so you can do 600 points of direct damage if you can get an attack through. And of course, as I said with all the Crystal Beasts, when it's destroyed, it goes into your spell and trap cards. Next up, we run 3 copies of Crystal Beast Topaz Tiger. Topaz Tiger is actually my favourite Crystal Beast. I just love the artwork. I love his effect of when it attacks, it gains 400 attack, so it goes from 1600 to 2000 attack. And again, it goes into the spell and trap when it's destroyed. Next up on the list, we have 3 copies of Crystal Beast Emerald Tortoise. Once per turn, you can target 1 monster you control that attacked this turn, change that target to defense. If this face-up card is destroyed in the main monster zone, it is placed in the spell and trap cards instead of sending it to the graveyard as all the other Crystal Beasts do. It's mainly your defense card, this. It's got 2k defense, it's a level 3, and it's just a nice looking card for the Crystal Beast. So next up on the list, the final Crystal Beast monster is Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle. What this card does is once per turn, you can target 1 Crystal Beast monster you control, place that target on top of your deck. And again, if it's destroyed, it goes into from the main monster zone, it goes into your spell and trap. The best combo to do with this is you have Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle onto the field, and as well a Crystal Beast Sapphire Pegasus. Use Crystal Beast Cobalt Eagle's effect, return Sapphire Pegasus, then your next turn, normal summon Sapphire Pegasus, and put another Crystal Beast, I'm just using Cobalt Eagle as an example here, into your spell and trap when he is summoned. So it's not just normal summoned with Sapphire Pegasus, it's also special summoned. For the 2 non-Crystal Beast cards, I run 1 copy of Crystal Master for the Pendulum effect and 1 copy of Crystal Keeper for his Pendulum effect. So what Crystal Keeper does is each turn, the first turn an ultimate Crystal Monster or Crystal Beast you control would be destroyed by card effect that turn, it is not destroyed. So he protects your Crystal Beast and also Rainbow Dragon and Rainbow Dark Dragon. Also now, as you can see at the bottom, this card is always treated as Ultimate Crystal. So he's basically protecting them from card effects once per turn. And Crystal Master's effect in the Pendulum Zone, your opponent cannot target ultimate crystals or Crystal Beast cards you control with card effects. So when you've got both of these set into your Pendulum Scales, it can't be targeted and it can't be destroyed once per turn by card effects. So they are really, really good for the deck. They help out a lot. So that's it for the monster side of this. On to the spells then. First of all, of course, there's 2 copies of the field spell, Ancient City Rainbow Ruins. This is one of the main field spell you want to have in a Crystal Beast deck. It is so good if you have them in your spell and trap. If you have 1+, this card can't be destroyed by card effects. 2+, once per turn, including your opponent's turn, you can halve the battle damage you take. When you've got 3+, when a spell card or trap card is activated, you can send 1 Crystal Beast monster you control to the graveyard and negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. So it's really good to stop your opponent from activating spells and traps to try and get rid of some of your Crystal Beasts. You just ditch one to the graveyard, and it stops them from doing it, it negates it. 4+, once per turn during your main phase, you can draw a card. So not only do you get your ordinary draw phase, but you also go +1 with this effect, because you also get to draw another card. And 5+ is the last effect. Once per turn during your main phase, you can target 1 Crystal Beast card in your spell and trap and special summon that target. So if you manage to get 5 Crystal Beasts without using the pendulums, of course, or any other spell and traps you have, and you have 5 and you get to special summon, say, a Ruby Carbuncle, and you have an Amber Mammoth, Emerald Tortoise, Cobalt Eagle, and, say, Sapphire Pegasus, because Ruby Carbuncle was special summoned with Rainbow City's effect, you can just special summon a whole lot, and then Sapphire's effect kicks in. Because it was summoned, you can just simply place another Ruby or another Crystal Beast straight into your spell and trap as well. So really, really good field spell for this deck. Next up on the list then, we only have one of these, is 1 Advanced Dark. This is what I use to get out Rainbow Dark Dragon. Because all Crystal Beast monsters on the field and in your graveyard become Dark types. If an ultimate crystal monster attacks, negate the effects of the attack target during the battle phase. And then during your damage calc, if a Crystal Beast monster you control battles and you would take damage, you can send 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard and you take no battle damage for it. So it's a really, really good card for the deck. It protects your Crystal Beast from being destroyed just simply by ditching another one. You don't take battle damage. And you can also negate the attack target's effect, and they become Dark type. Simply banish 7 of the different Crystal Beasts, and you can bring out Rainbow Dark Dragon with it. So it's a really, really good card. So next up on the list then for spells, we have 2 copies of Crystal Bond. This is one of the newer spell cards for the deck, and it really, really does help. Because when you activate it, you can add 1 Crystal Monster from your deck to your hand, and place 1 Crystal Beast monster with a different card name, from your deck to your hand. I do apologise. So when it's activated, you can add a Crystal Beast from your deck to your hand, and then place 1 Crystal Beast with a different name from your deck face up into your spell and trap as a continuous spell. So what you do with this is you activate it, add your Sapphire Pegasus, and place another, and then summon out your Pegasus the same turn. You're going to be getting 2 different Crystal Beasts straight into your spell and trap card zone with this card. And it's really, really helpful to have one of these. Or even if you can, get 2. I'd recommend running 2 or 3. Next up on the list then, we have 3 copies of Rainbow Bridge. Really simple card. It allows you to add a crystal spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So if you play Rainbow Bridge, you can add your Crystal Bond, activate Crystal Bond, and then you can go into your different combo plays. Or if there's another trap card I'll show you in a minute that I mainly use Rainbow Bridge for. So next up on the list then, just the little extra cards for the deck is 2 copies of Crystal Release. Equip onto a Crystal Beast monster. It gains 800 attack, and when this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can place 1 Crystal Monster from your deck face up in your spell and trap as a continuous spell. So these are your equipped boosts for the Crystal Beast cards. They give them 800 attack, which isn't too bad if you use it on something like Cobalt Tiger. Turbaz Tiger, sorry, not Cobalt. I don't know why I said Cobalt. Attack with your Turbaz Tiger, it goes up to 2800. So next up on the list then, we have 2 copies of Crystal Promise. what this card does is you can target one Crystal Beast in your spell and trap card zone and special summon that target. So if you have a Ruby Carbuncle, activate your Crystal Promise, special summon your Ruby, Ruby's effect kicks in, allowing you to special summon any other Crystal Beast cards in your spell and traps. So next up then, just the one of for this deck, I run one copy of Crystal Blessing, target up to 2 Crystal Beast monsters in your graveyard and place them in your spell and traps as continuous spells. One copy of Crystal Tree. Each time a Crystal Beast monster is placed in either player's spell and trap card zone, you can place a crystal counter on this card. And then you can send this card to the graveyard, target a number of Crystal Beast monsters from your deck, equal to the number of crystal counters that were on this card, and place them in your spell and trap. The good thing about Crystal Tree is if you're doing a mirror match, so you're running Crystal Beast against Crystal Beast, not only is it when your Crystal Beasts are placed in your spell and trap, but it's also your opponent's Crystal Beast cards are also going into the spell and trap, so you're gaining counters from your opponent as well. Next up on the list then, we have one copy of Crystal Beacon. This card allows you to special summon one Crystal Beast monster from your deck. You must have 2 or more Crystal Beasts in your spell and trap card to activate and resolve this effect. So say if you had your Ruby Carbuncle and an Emerald Tortoise, you can use Crystal Beacon to summon out your Sapphire Pegasus to place another Crystal Beast into your spell and trap card zone. So next up, Rainbow Refraction, one of its quick play spell card for the deck. If a monster you control whose original name is Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon activated its effect this turn, you can special summon any number of Crystal Beast monsters with different names from your deck. So if you have this say set, or even in your hand during your turn, your Rainbow Dragon activates its effect, and then you manage to wipe out your opponent's board with him, you can play Rainbow Refraction, summon out other ones, and go into game with it. Next up then, Crystal Abundance, just one of. You can send 4 Crystal Beast cards from your spell and trap zone to the graveyard, send as many cards from you as possible to the graveyard, send as many cards on the field, as possible to the graveyard, then special summon as many Crystal Beast monsters as possible from your graveyard, up to the number of cards sent from your opponent's side of the field by this card's effect. So what Crystal Abundance does, is you have 4 cards in your spell and trap card zone, 4 Crystal Beast monsters, activate your Crystal Abundance, get rid of them all, take out your opponent's board, and then you get to special summon as many cards, well, Crystal Beast cards, as possible, equal to the number of cards your opponent's field had. So it's a really good card. It's a long combo play with that. So next up on the one of is Rare Value. If you control 2 or more Crystal Beast cards in your spell and trap card zone, your opponent chooses 1 Crystal Beast in your spell and trap, you send it to the graveyard, and if you do, you draw 2 cards. So this is your main draw support for the deck. I'd only recommend running 1 or 2 of these cards because your opponent is getting rid of a Crystal Beast from your spell and trap card zone, and you don't really want them leaving that unless you're doing an effect by yourself. And then next up is just one simple Terraforming. Terraforming, it's used to add a field spell from your deck to your hand. Most players know what Terraforming does. You use it in this deck for your Rainbow Ruins or even your Advanced Dark. So next up then is the trap cards from this deck. First of all, we run one copy of Ultimate Crystal Magic. As I said earlier in the video, with Rainbow Bridge, there is a trap card I add, and this is it. Because what Ultimate Crystal Magic does is when your Crystal Beast monster is destroyed by battle, you can send 7 Crystal Beasts with different names from your hand, graveyard, and or face up on the field to the graveyard. Then you can special summon 1 Crystal Beast fusion monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a fusion summon. If a face-up Ultimate Crystal monster, you control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard and place any number of Crystal Beast monsters from your graveyard face up in your spell and trap zone. So as I said with the Rainbow Bridge, you simply activate it, add this card, set it, deliberately walk into your opponent's card, take a little bit of battle damage, activate Ultimate Crystal Magic when you can. You're sending 7 Crystal Beasts. Not only that as well, but you get to also bring out the fusion card, which I will show you in just a minute or so. But because you have 7 Crystal Beasts with different names, if you have Advanced Dark on the field with Ultimate Crystal Magic, you can also use them 7 cards to bring out Rainbow Dark Dragon as well. So next up on the list then we have 2 Rainbow Path. What this card does is when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send 1 Crystal Beast from your spell and trap to the graveyard, then target the attacking monster. Negate the attack, and then you can add 1 Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon from your deck to your hand. So Rainbow Path's really good because if you can use it with Ultimate Crystal Magic in the same turn, you can send 7 Crystal Beasts to the graveyard, use Rainbow Path to add your Rainbow Dark Dragon, and if you have Advanced Dark on the field as well, using your Terraforming, you can also be able to summon out your Rainbow Dark Dragon in your turn. So next up then, it's 2 copies of Crystal Conclave. What this card does is a continuous trap card, and once per turn, if a face-up Crystal Beast monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck. You can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard to target 1 Crystal Beast monster you control and 1 card on the field. Return them to the hand. You cannot activate these effects in the same chain. So you activate your Crystal Conclave first as a continuous trap. If a face-up Crystal Beast monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, you special summon, say, your Sapphire Pegasus, so his effect kicks in to set your Ruby Carbuncle in your spell and traps. And then your next turn, you simply just use its second effect to send this card face-up on the field, target 1 Crystal Beast monster you control, and 1 card on the field, so it doesn't have to be your opponent's if you want to return a card to your own hand. I don't know why you'd do that, but you could. Return them to the hand. So you can simply do it in your opponent's turn as well. So if you need to get rid of a problem monster, there you go. That's the way to do it with this deck. Next up, I run 1 copy of Rainbow Gravity. So if you have 7 Crystal Beast cards with different names in the field and or graveyard, you can special summon 1 Ultimate Crystal monster from your deck or graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions. Now the only reason I only run 1 copy of this is because I am actually waiting for another copy of my Ultimate Crystal Magic to arrive. It should be here sometime this week. But if you use Rainbow Gravity and Ultimate Crystal Magic, you can use Ultimate Crystal Magic first, send the 7 Crystal Beasts from your deck to the graveyard, and then activate Rainbow Gravity to be able to special summon one of your Ultimate Crystal one of your Ultimate Crystal monsters from your deck, so either your Rainbow Dragon or your Rainbow Dark Dragon, ignoring its summoning conditions. It's a really good card for the deck. So next up then, we have 1 copy of Crystal Pair. What this card does is, when a Crystal Beast monster you control is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can place 1 Crystal Beast monster from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell card, as they all do. Then you take no battle damage for the rest of the turn. So if you have this card set face down with Ultimate Crystal Magic for an example, run a monster into your opponent's monster, take the damage, activate your Ultimate Crystal Magic to summon out, send 7 Crystal Beasts from your deck to the graveyard to summon out the fusion of the deck, and then if you're worried about taking any more damage that turn, you can just activate your Crystal Pair and you take no battle damage. And then the last card from this deck, this is just as a backup. As I said, it's a lot when your opponent is destroying your cards by battle. It's 1 copy of Mirror Force. I really like Mirror Force. It's such a classic, iconic card from the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. I just really like it. And if you don't know what Mirror Force does, it's when your opponent declares an attack, destroy all your opponent's top position monsters. Most people in the game now know what Mirror Force does. And then next up, for the extra deck, I only have 3 cards in the extra deck, and they are all the same. It is the Rainbow Overdragon, which is the fusion Crystal Beast or Ultimate Crystal Monster, as I've been saying during this video. So what this card does is, this card is always treated as a Ultimate Crystal card, and then must be fusion summoned or special summoned by attributing 1 level. Must be fusion summoned or special summoned by attributing 1 level 10 Ultimate Crystal Monster, in which case you don't use polymerization. You bring it out with the Ultimate Crystal Magic. I don't know why anyone would actually bring it out using its tribute effect of either Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon, because you don't actually get its effect. You see, because it has to be fusion summoned for its effect to work. So, once per turn, you can banish one crystal monster from your Crystal Beast monster from your graveyard. This card gains attack equal to the banished monster's attack to the end of this turn. If you did it with a special summon by tributing Rainbow Dragon or Rainbow Dark Dragon, it does gain that effect. It's not that effect I was talking about, it's this one. This effect really, really does help if you need to use it. And then, you can... My apologies, I've lost one. You contribute this face-up... You contribute this fusion-summoned monster and shuffle all cards on the field into the deck. Sorry, I couldn't quite see it as it's quite small on the camera. That's the effect I was on about. If you use Ultimate Crystal Magic, it is classed as fusion summoning it. So its effect will be able to go off, so you can simply tribute this card, return all other face-up cards on the field. Is it all face-up, sorry? No, sorry, it's just shuffle all cards on the field into the deck. So it's not just face-up, it is face-down cards as well. You just simply shuffle them all back into the deck, and it is really, really good. The only reason I have 3 copies of this, as I said, I am waiting for a couple of copies of the Ultimate Crystal Magic Trap card to arrive for this deck. But I only run 3 copies of these. It's just a fun card for deck. And the deck itself is it's also just a really, really fun deck to run. I really do like the Crystal Beast. So if you did enjoy this video then, please leave this video a like, comment if you think there's some cards that you need to change in this deck. I don't mind at all. And if you are willing to subscribe to my channel, that would be absolutely brilliant. I am really trying to get into YouTube a bit more, just with Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. So if you really did like it, please, as I said, leave this video a like, comment if you want to, and subscribe to my channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh videos in the future. And as always, I will see you all in the next video I do. Thank you for watching.